One, two, one, one.
Tom's Green Show. They're saying you can take them, but you've got 7 days? Or you've got till the 28th to get everything out?
Yeah, but they want me off the property in 24 hours.
A lot of stuff to get out in 7 days. When farmers make agreements to work a property, they make sure they're going to be able to be there for a number of years to avoid having to pick up and move and
It's
drop
a
of the hat.
mutual agreement between both parties to be set out in a separate agreement if requested. Not required at the present time. No rent is enforced for the property. The owner or company will give the farmer a chance to remove his or her crops as the crops came to full maturity at any time. If any part of the land should be required sooner, the farmer should be advised. Land or property located here, areas. This was in 1986. Soybeans. This is corn.
And this seems to be like a shaded area where you're like coming in for air conditioning.
This was flowers. They came and destroyed my flowers. This was in cultivation there. The other fields are in cultivation, but the weed went up because you have to treat the weed with some kind of a chemical issues, unless you have to treat it with another tools, which I have it. This is a rototiller. Good.
And farmers are kind of like a buffer almost, it would seem, you know, between when lands aren't developed and they're sitting there, so to make sure people don't dump soil on it or toxic soil, or you know, treat the land with disrespect. I would think that's part of the reason they have farmers as well.
Well, that's a good way of viewing it. Yes, that will prevent individuals to have the intent to treat these surfaces with many purpose of how to say the facilities there is not being in use with nothing, and so why not to dump it? So it's an issue of taking advantage. If there is no fences around, if it's an open space, it could be used for multiple unwanted material. And that is, if it is being used by a farmer or someone for a purpose rather than a dumping site, it can complain and say, hey, why are you doing this in this area that when I am involved in this area? And that's exactly when you're an investor and you invest in property somewhere in Timbuktu and you don't have the time to go and see your property, people think that it's abandoned and and take advantage. And so then it's costing you more money
To clean it up,
to
if you can, if it's caught.
to get that surprise.
That's how we kick it old school, old school.
That's how they used to do the old fashioned way, and then you take them.
As I stand in a shaded area and this breeze comes in, I survey everything that's here. I can understand why Sam's reluctant to leave. In a way, it's a kind of an oasis out here.
When you're paying monthly, that is 30 days. That is the monthly payment. You got 30 days to appeal. That's the rules of practice. I knew that. I can show you some documents I have here as a transcript.
All right.
Want to see it?
All right, sure.
Thank you. If you get an eviction or an injunction, the guy says, I know about law.
Who said that?
Some officer.
Police officer. Okay.
Well, I know the procedures.
Yeah, he said he would honor it. I talked to him on the phone and he said, yeah, well, if you come in with an injunction like that,
Well, it can't
you
have
have no
an
choice.
It can't have an injunction of saying that I'm not supposed to be here as an occupier. He's saying as they're considering you as a trespasser, and there is no indication on the court that I'm a trespasser. They're alleging that I'm a trespasser, but I've been a trespasser for how many years? If they're alleging that, why are you
Well,
coming
they're
now?
claiming they didn't know you were here till 2012.
What doesn't matter if you didn't know us since 2012? Why are you doing it now? As soon as you knew 2012, you should start in 2012.
We did, according to our documents.
No, they didn't. What documents do you have?
That's what they said in court. They tried to make you aware in 2012. They wanted you out.
In 2012, I did not receive anything in writing signed by anybody. In 2012. Here it says entrance right, refer property. The owner or company gives permission to farmer Sam Oracle, the legend farmer, the friendly farmer, the legend farmer who works the land. You should have tied them up. Some strings. Acreage for keeping the weeds cut according to any weeds control act in effect record in satisfaction that possession of the property in question will be reviewed, owner or other individual where approved ground soil is broken out of this property for development use or other enforced when municipality staff, members of the council at large consent and confirm project plan for the property or property at large and self-change land use. Fairness versus fairness. Anyway,
So the bottom line is what?
the bottom line, they're using this bylaw to break my agreement. Nice to feel my cut the. Now they identify the property through a system, an application, and that application is under the Landlord and Tenant Board, and it's correct. It's a procedure. You can say at the board we give them notice, but if it comes to testify, I will say what I'm saying now because that's the legitimate issue.
What are you saying now?
I'm saying now that in 2012, whether they say it in 2012, I did not receive anything in 2012.
Sam was also a victim of 2 house fires.
That was the house before the fire?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, what do you mean? After the fire, there's no house.
Oh,
I'm just going to show
all
you
gone,
after
eh?
the house. That was the repair issue. We were disputing who is responsible for repair.
so you're disputing who's responsible for the repairs and the house burns down.
Yeah, dispute. See, the respondent Sam already disputed the claim of the applicant.
Well, it's one way to get people out.
Ah.
I'm not saying they did that on purpose.
Oh, they did it because they put a sign on one of the doors that my car ran out of gas. We went into, look, see how much money? I was paying $1,000 a month. On that, see? And so what? I put so much money here. So there was the house.
Century home raised by early morning flames. Oh yeah. Left you homeless then, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I got injured here.
That was on this property we're on now? Or
No.
It's the old property, yeah? The second fire was on this property we're on now.
First, no, this because the soil, the topsoil is being stripped.
Who stripped it?
Oh, years ago they stripped it. And so that's what they're doing now. They're stripping they're bringing, you see all there, that's what I want you to see. Those are rocks, all kinds of stuff. This project is not going well. They're going to leave that rocks and all this and that, and then they're calling the farmer to come in here and work the land. No, it's not working. Then the weed is going to grow noxiously. Weed grows in any type of soil. But that's how subdivision is going to be. That people complain about how come, things in my backyard doesn't grow well.
You know, no matter how you slice it, this man needs to be treated with a lot more respect than they've given him. And I don't just mean by developers. I mean, sure, they own the property, but still, they should be following the rules. But putting that aside, a community such as the city of Markham, originally the town of Markham, when Sam first started living here and farming here, It's now grown to become a city. Wonderful. And it is good. It's such a big area, Markham, and it's growing and diverse now. But that doesn't mean you can discard the past. And if you've got a guy here who's been part of the community for 35 years, farming in that community, and you try to get rid of him through a bylaw that you just created in 2012, you got to take him into account. And if it takes compensating the man, that's what you do. You got to do what's right. You served this community for 35 years, providing the food that you eat on your tables. I'm for progress like anybody else. But at what expense and whose? Growth is inevitable. Can't deny that. But it needs to be done in a controlled way, and it needs to be done in a fair way to everyone involved. And that includes the lowly farmer. Just gorgeous. I'm Tom Pearson. Until next time. Next time on Tom's Green Show. Now in this particular water reservoir, the nematodes, the male nematodes, have lesions growing on them, on their heads. Seems to be predominantly the males. They're not sure why yet, but university biology students are studying that right now. You have to wonder why. If there is something in the water that's causing nematodes to have these lesions, it could very well be affecting other wildlife. Bees. Are they becoming an endangered species? According to Sam Oracle, it's only $20 an acre to develop lands that are surrounded by the electric towers into farming.